Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Good guys. It's going really good. I heard you talking about spaces and all the annoyances of it.
Yeah,
I'm
what do
one of
you
those.
think?
Yeah,
So I'm one of those very rare people where it actually works almost always perfectly. I don't know why. like
What's your
I do a
equipment?
space, just a MacBook and a snowball mic.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. So it's very weird. It's very weird. I do a space with this guy Zombie every week called Can't Stop Won't Stop, and every time that he makes the link and starts it, something fucks up and we get rugged or whatever. But like every time I make it, it's fine. I don't get it. I'm not gonna jinx it. So
Well,
it is what it is.
you might have. You might have just jinxed
I
it
might
just now, so sorry about
just
that.
knocked on some wood. I'm good. I'm good.
quick behind the scenes questions. We're
Hmm.
testing different mics right now, but you mentioned Snowball, and I owned a Snowball back in 2009 when they just first had the first issue of those. Is this the one that is still kind of out there? The one that looks like a sphere?
Yeah, it's just like a big circle. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. It sounds very good. It sounds really
it
good, Matthew.
works.
By the way, maybe
It
we should get the
does.
Snowball.
Yeah, I just do
Yeah,
that and then I have my
and it's
AirPods into
like
here
50
and
bucks, I
it works. I put one AirPod in
think.
because I can't put into it. It just fucks with me. But um,
Nice.
yeah, it works fine. I mean, as far as I can tell, I'm obviously you can get better mics that eliminate a bunch of
Oh, for
reverb,
sure.
but
But yeah,
I got like some cushions in
it's
front of me, so there's a little less reverb because I'm kind of in an open room. But um, yeah,
nice.
yeah, it works.
Matthew, we should consider Matthew. Maybe we should get you a snowball.
Honestly,
But you sound very good today, by the way.
No, me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying it. I'm from my phone now with my AirPods.
Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool.
it's
I tried it
also
new
like
this
going
time.
into your settings and like for this, I don't have a system yet where I can sort of make it so it stays on a certain level, but um, you can. At first, people couldn't really hear me, and then I realized that it had set my input very low, so I just had to go into the settings and constantly raise it.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. All right,
yeah,
that was the tech segment
I like it.
of our space. All
No,
right, I'm gonna shut up now.
That's it. That's it.
that was good. That was good. And yeah, I like them. I Snowball. You
Yeah,
said
yeah.
is
They're
is it like Snowball the
yeah.
brand?
If you just look up Snowball, it's probably the same thing. And if there's a new one, it's got to be better. But
I see Logitech
let me
Snowball.
see. Is it Logic?
No, it's from Blue. It's
Blue.
from
Yeah, it's
Blue.
from Blue.
And it's you remember Matthew? You sent me the Yeti link. That's the same company. It's just
They're
their
relatively
Snowball is their
cheap.
first original
Oh,
Like
product.
they've been used a
Yeah,
lot
there's
for
like
like
different companies.
voiceovers and voice actors and stuff like that. So it's like it's always been the go-to cheap option.
Yeah, I remember first time when
all
they came
right.
out, like it was $100, and
Yeah.
my friend and I we had a podcast in 2009, and we like basically like chipped in and got that one, and we were just like two of us sitting in front of the snowball,
Nice.
just bantering. That was like what a time, 2009.
Good time, man.
Holy shit, time flies.
You guys were doing podcasts before podcasts were a thing. God damn.
I know, I'm like a podcasting veteran. It's like no one knew about it. I was just sitting there recording shit. But yeah,
So I haven't met Matthew in person, but I met you in person, and you're a cool dude. Like
yeah.
I don't know, like I've got one person here from Radix right now, Bottom Dwellers. They've got this NFT coming out on Radix, and it's fantastic. Um, but yeah,
Awesome.
like for anybody who doesn't know here, I mean, there's probably people, but oh, nice. And then this other
We'll do
guy,
all the
Jay,
plugs
he's
you
also
need.
from Radix. But Samir, you got like this energy that is fantastic. I remember seeing you, and you
Oh,
jumped
thank
up
you.
on stage. Maybe some of it was nerves, but it was like, fuck yeah, like you controlled the room better than that other person that was supposed to control the room who was doing a shit job. And you jumped up and like just overshadowed him so quickly, and I was like, maybe this guy should keep
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. Thank you very much. I've obviously, as I mentioned, a podcaster since 2009. I do a lot of on-air speak and public speak and all of that, and it's kind of it comes natural to me for sure. I also have like this, like a little bit of an edgy personality, a little intense. Antoine knows from yesterday's call, but anyways, that's I appreciate the compliment. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I guess you guys got a slew of questions you want to ask me. Um,
Uh,
I'll
yeah.
explain as best I can for some of them because there still is one major feature that I can't quite drop yet, but
Well, allow me to
we do have a
formally,
launch.
yeah, to formally like introduce you guys because I was the
Yeah,
intermediary to set this up. So Matthew Glazos is my co-founder at Toronto DAO, and our other co-founder Antoine, who is under Dev, here is also as a listener and
amazing.
hosting our spaces every week. And should we refer to you as Dogs of Radix?
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, my name's Michael, but in the Radix community, I'm Dogs of Radix or just dogs.
All right.
And
Well,
then yeah,
yeah, Matthew,
it was an
meet
accident,
Michael.
but that's my name.
Anyways, now that it's introduced, I introduced both of you. Now I can relax.
I like it. All right, Matthew,
Yeah.
shoot
So
away. Ask me some questions. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This is Toronto DAO. We have our weekly spaces, and we have. I'm sorry, you said your on your internet name, and I
Don't worry,
Do-
would you
Michael.
mind
Dogs,
repeating it for
Dogs
me?
of Radix, aka Michael.
Dogs
Dogs
of
of Radix, aka Michael.
Dogs of Radix, aka Michael from Edge Club here. Uh, Michael, you mentioned that there's some stuff you can't reveal yet. By all
Yeah.
means, don't share anything you don't want to. If I ask you something and you say, I can't share that, let's move on. No worries there. I'll be happy to do that.
Sweet. Yeah, it's
But
just so everybody knows, I mean, a lot of the people here right now are from Radix, and I think they're just on my last space, so they already know. But we do have a launch date now, with one contingency based off of just a legal document that has to be signed and approved. But our launch date is set to be Wednesday next week, the 15th. So so that is when everything will be revealed. But there is some stuff I can share about that, which is really, really cool.
do you want to go more into that now and
Yeah.
and skip a couple of the questions?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let me start with the basics, right? So it's like a pump.fun style launchpad, right? You're going to have all those capabilities, but there's one extra feature that allows for investors to really assess risk before they invest. So they can still get that feeling of FOMO and everything, but they can see a community being built, and they can get their money ready, and they can really research before they get in, but know that there's this real community being built, that we've gone through a lot to make sure it can't be gamified. And essentially the direction we've gone in is enabling this and making this something that a token creator can include in their launch, but not making it mandatory, because first off, we don't want to make anything mandatory. That's not our thing. And second off, we want the volume from the pump.fun style audience, and we want people to have the choice to make smarter investments, and also for creators to have more power to create communities. So with that being said, that is kind of what we're looking at, and it's very vague because I can't share that one thing. But on day one, we already have a big community member from Radix who hasn't created a token yet, and he's going to be, or she, he's going to be launching a token. It's going to be featured because we have a featured section, but they're going to be using the feature that we have, and they're going to be the first to use it. Anybody can use it, but we're going to have them set it up, and I think that it'll go very quickly, and everything will go smoothly, and then I think they'll graduate very quickly as well. And at that point, it's just going to kind of show everybody in the community how it works and that it's possible. And I think a lot of tokens will launch that way. And that's just going to be day one. As well, on day one, we have this marketing campaign, which I wish I could show you the stuff for it. I've got some really cool diagrams set up for it, but we have this collaboration marketing campaign, which I think you were going to ask me later, but essentially it's a way to get people from other chains. So the way it's going to work, without me telling you what the feature is this feature allows for us to initially, before we add this bridge, which we'll also talk about. So the initial collaboration will look like this. We find a collaboration, and it has to be a community on any other chain other than Radix. they have to have an NFT, a meme coin, a DAO, whatever it might be, but it has to be an active community. And when we have that, what they can do is they can now come on to our website, use this feature by using their asset rather than an asset on XRD. So they don't actually need to buy anything. They just already have this asset in their wallet. So they're going to be able to jump in, use this feature, and by using this feature, their wallet is instantly qualified for airdrops that will come in the future based off of revenue. And so it's just a very easy way for that. But then what we're also going to be doing, which won't be on launch day on the 15th, but it will be 2 to 4 weeks afterwards, we're going to be integrating Maya Protocol and ThorSwap. And those are two things that, if you don't know what they are, they're really powerful. They help connect L1s, L2s, everything from Ethereum and Bitcoin all the way down to Radix and ADA. And it's smooth. You can go from a shit coin on Solana to a coin on our bonding curve in one transaction for a very cheap price because it's a tail transaction. It doesn't, they don't take any fees on tail transactions. So that's what we're looking at. And so when that's integrated, those collaborations quickly change. So now not only can they, I almost let it out. Now not only can they use the feature and get those airdrops, but now with those communities that we bring in, I've got an organizer guy who's going to be taking in all these communities. We can talk to the leaders of the community. They can find us somebody in the community who wants to create a token on our Launchpad, and we can have them create it through that feature, have that community use the feature, and then after everything is approved and everything, then that community can now invest very easily in that token. And not only does that, not only is that fun, a more fun way to do it, and it creates another niche spot for that community, but it's like a very indirect way of shilling XRD. And it's got a lot of power to it. And so what we've decided to go forward with is what the collaboration campaign is that anybody who, if you're on Radix or if you're on any other network, if you come to us and I've got a whole, it's on the Git book, and that form you see on our tree is the form that they'll have to fill out. But if you bring a collaboration to us, a community to us, then and we approve it and we say, yep, that hits all our criteria, and we decide to go forward with that collaboration, then that person who brought that collaboration to us is going to get 0.1% of the Edge Club revenue for the rest of their life. So that's what we're looking at, and that's why I think it has so much weight to it, this collaboration campaign. And yeah, so that's just day one though. So that's day one, what's going to be coming out, and everybody will soon know.
Let's say two.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a lot, man. But it's yeah. So and you'll slowly start to see, or quickly start to see, these collaborations come in. We've already got two that will be getting a little bit more notice soon when we start putting stuff out about them. But it'll be very nice to see all these really cool niche communities that start coming to Radix, right? Because if they can launch their own token and they get somebody from their community, it's not just, oh, it's a nice onboarding tool and somebody came over, they saw Radix and it's whatever. They're going to come over using our website. They're going to create a token. Their community is going to support it, and it's going to most likely graduate because of that community. And now you're going to have this huge community from another network that has space on this network, that has cemented themselves into this network. It's not just, oh, I want to buy XRD because I hope it goes up, or, I'm going to get there and I'm going to try to figure out what the tech is and what this is. It's like, no, the best way to keep people around is to give them a nice investment in a nice community that they're familiar with. And this is the best possible way to do it. So yeah, that's all day one. And you'll start to see the collaborations coming in. And I'm especially really excited to finally announce that feature, because it's just been weighing on me, but it's going to be awesome.
Oh, that's amazing. I just wanted to clarify on the research part. So, like, what kind of knowledge would you say you need to get in to do your own research, right? Because they always say do your own research.
Yeah. So
But like you and me could probably figure it out. Someone who bought Bitcoin for the first time last week, could they figure it out?
Absolutely. So it's going to be very simple. It's obviously not like foolproof. Like it's nothing is in these launch pads, and nothing is in this space, right? There's always going to be rugs. There's always going to be stuff that you're not going to see when you invest. But it's just a better way for people to see something being built. So not only will you be able to, because the creators are going to have to get on Twitter and Telegram and start building a community and start advertising, and it's really going to push them to do that. But in real time, you're going to have something that shows you that people are actually joining this community and supporting this community, and or that they're not. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out and how useful it's going to be to creators and investors. And I think it will become a new norm. I think that if we do get anywhere, I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to start trying to build something like this, because we're just like adding to this, and like I've got something that I want to add to it as well. But I've got certain things that are going to come in that are going to help pay for lawyers, because there's one thing in particular that I want to add that I won't be able to add until I have lawyers look at it, because it's a very gray area. But yeah, there's just so much possibility once you start going down this road. And like the best part about these things is that when you start doing something and you show people that there's a possibility beyond something that they have cemented themselves in, like Pump.Fun, it opens their eyes. And me figuring this out is fine, but what's to come after, when people start seeing the possibilities of what they can do and what kind of launch pads they can create beyond what we've known for the last year, it's going to change things for the better. Everybody loves Pump.Fun, but everybody fucking hates Pump.Fun. You get scammed 99% of the time.
I think I tried it out, and I think I didn't actually go through with it. But I was like, wow, I could just create my own token and just hope someone buys it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of a bit too easy.
Exactly.
But the reason why I asked about the research one, because like I thought back to what happened with that Hawk token.
Yeah.
And while originally I was like, before this whole thing, because I didn't pay attention to it until after the whole rug pull happened.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first saw it come out, with no due diligence, stupid investment. But you had a lot of people who like were crazy about her, and they invested right away.
Oh, yeah.
And but then it turns out like all these people who did do their homework were like showing like all these people have the ability to, all these like the VCs have the ability to dump on day one.
Absolutely.
And they were like showing that, and they tweeted this before it came out, and no one was really paying attention to that, and a lot of people unfortunately lost their money. And while obviously you do your own research, and like I said, I thought it was a stupid investment, but you don't like to see people get scammed either, even if it wasn't the smartest idea to buy it.
No.
And so I was wondering,
that's
like,
the thing.
if
Yeah.
they
So
had used your program,
I don't think that
would it be nice if they fixed them?
I don't think that if they used our program that it would have fixed any of that, because there's always going to be, there's no way to get around hype that big. So you have, I don't know exactly what happened there, but it seems like there were some bad apples among somebody who had a lot of influence, and it seems like she got herself entangled in that. And I don't know the entire thing, but it's impossible to stop somebody who has that much influence and doesn't understand the space. And she let herself get entangled with these very bad apples who were ready to scam, and she didn't know that. So she marketed that and pushed it to people, and people bought because of that. And then the people who wanted to scam, if I'm reading this right, they did it because it wasn't that hard for them. It was very easy for them. That's
I guess I'm what,
yeah, like, that's impossible to deter, like, because the only way that you could deter that is if you knew that those people were bad apples, and then you tried to tell as many people or you were able to ban them, but there's no way to know that 100% of the time.
Fair enough, but all we can do is try, and I feel
Absolutely.
like what you're doing is you're trying, and
Yeah,
even if it saves one person from $1, that's a good thing.
absolutely. And like I said, I think that with what we're doing, it's a very good step in the right direction. And there's going to be so many things that come after it as well, and that we add on to it, and that maybe other launchpads do as well, that are going to start getting people to want to change the ecosystem in a smarter, more risk assessment way. You know?
It may even be a deterrence for bad apples to be like, let's not bother to wait to launch a scam because we'll get caught.
Yeah. Yeah. Or it's just like they couldn't, it just wasn't working. You know, I do still think that bad apples will get through. I mean, they always will.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do about that.
But we just want to give more to the investor to have a little bit more faith or trust in what they're investing in. But the bottom line is that no investment is going to be like safe. You know, like even buying Tesla today could be bad. You never know.
Well, even there's good actors who just had a great idea and it just never worked out. You know,
Absolutely.
There's always risky investments.
Absolutely. There's so many ways that an investment can go sour. So we're focused on making it safer, but understanding that there is no 100% safeness.
So like, you know, you're building community. We're a community DAO. You know, we're building the tech behind it. So the voting isn't there, but that's what we're working on, and we're trying to increase engagement to get people to participate in the DAO.
Yeah.
And you have like this competition that I think is kind of cool, but I couldn't really get a lot of information from your
Edge the Dip,
or at least I didn't. Yes, that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
Do you mind like telling us about that?
Yeah. So it's actually been a while since we've done that. That was actually, it was good and bad. So it was good for the time that we used it, but we stopped using it because it's not something that you can run forever. So when we first launched our coin, Edge from Edge Club, when we first launched it, we wanted a way to deter bad dips. So what we did was Edge the Dip. So anytime that the price dropped by like so much, we had a thing that it was like the next, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it was like the next 10 buys that come in for over $100 will receive this much Edge. So it made people want to buy during the dip, and it helped a lot. But the negative side of that is then you only have people starting to buy when it dips because they want that, right? So it helps stop the dip, but it doesn't help buy pressure after that. So it was something that helped us just get through certain patches of things, which was really nice. It did help with engagement, which was nice, but it's not something you can do forever.
And what do you think is the solution to that?
Engagement?
Well, I guess yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what you're doing, right? NFTs are obviously different. Meme coins are different. DAOs are different. With DAOs, you need to have definitely an incentive, some sort of incentive. With meme coins, they just want to see them go up. And to get that engagement, you either need the price to just be going up and the community to be building itself, or you need to really start pushing things and create a culture. And it's not always easy because some cultures need to be pushed a little bit more than others, and some just take off. But it's all about just trying things, right? Like you go, all right, what is our game here? What is our angle? Am I going to make some sort of a bunch of memes about this to get people engaged? Am I going to do a meme contest? Am I going to do giveaways? Am I going to like what am I going to use? How am I going to do this? And there's a lot of different ways. It's a loaded question because there's really a million ways to do it, and it's just about thinking on your feet and constantly trying to engage with the community, especially in the beginning, to get them to get engaged. But yeah, and it's especially hard on Radix because there's not as many people. So, but it's also easier than doing it on somewhere like Solana, where there's almost too many people that nobody. It's harder to get people to come in, to your meme. So there's pros and cons to it. In terms of you guys getting engagement, it really depends. It depends on what angle you guys are taking. You guys are doing DAO. What is the DAO's purpose, right? What are you guys voting on? What do you want to vote on? What are you trying to incentivize? And what is your culture? Is it just Toronto, or is it something bigger than that? Is there like a meme behind it? Is there something people can talk about or create with? Is definitely huge.
That's fantastic advice for me, Samir, and anybody else who's listening. Because it doesn't matter how good your idea is, but we need engagement, and it's just something I thought what you're doing is really cool. So I had to ask that question.
Yeah.
So the Edge token, why don't you tell me a bit more about that? Like, like the Edge token holders, do they benefit from the Launchpad?
Yeah, they do. So initially, I wanted it to be sort of, I call it front end and back end, even though that's computer terms. But initially, I wanted it to be on the front end. How they benefit, and what I mean by that is, sort of like airdrops and stuff like that. So if you were to, if every token were to launch and then 0.5% of the supply goes to the edge holders, that'd be so great for the edge holders. Or so much of it goes to the validator stakers on our validator. That'd be so great for them. But what that does is it deters the people that we have coming in from other networks from wanting to use our Launchpad, because they see that, oh, part of my token's going to this group of people that I don't know, I'm not a part of, and I don't want to be part of. Like, who knows if they want to or not? But that's a huge possibility, and we want to deter that, because we don't want to stop people from coming just because we want to help our holders. So what I mean by the back end is, instead of doing it on the front end like that, we're taking the revenue shares. So it's the exact same thing. Like they're still gonna make bank from this. Like, it's gonna be a lot, but it's gonna be from the back end, where they can get that revenue going into their wallets through that, or claim page, just because of how Radix works right now. But yeah, so essentially that's it. It's just on the back end there. They're still going to get XRD being funneled into their accounts, and they're gonna do great with that. It's going to be more than I think any reward should ever be. But I'm happy to do it, because they've been there through everything, and they've supported everything, and they've become part of the community and the culture. But then one last thing is that, in terms of that ability to like airdrop edge holders any sort of token, we do have something that we're working on for that. But like I said, we don't want it to be just edge holders. We don't want it to be just one specific. We want it to be much more dynamic. So there will be that feature added in, but it won't be in version 1. It'll be something that we get going. But it was going to be in version 1. And then we quickly were like, no, we can't do that. It's not good for the creators that we need coming in. And yeah, so that's that.
That's pretty unique. That's I can hear the passion in the way you talk about it too. And so I feel like the Edge token holders, they're in good hands right now. But you have you said you got rid of the Edge, the dip. Does that mean the buyback program is gone too?
No. The buyback program is based off of our validator. So if anybody here doesn't know what a validator is, it's a sum of code put onto a server that creates a node, and a node just helps the network run. But a validator is something that's actually helping the network run, because it's validating these jobs that are happening on the network. And right now, the way that Radix works is there's only 100 validators. So there's a lot more nodes, but there's only one set, and there's 100 validators that are validating. And eventually there will be multiple sets, and there'll be thousands of validators, but that's to come in the future when we need that. But what happens there is when you do that, you can set your fee, and most of the fees are set at like maybe like 2%, 2.5%. So they make a little bit of XRD and they give it to themselves, and then the people who are staking on there and staking their XRD, they make the rest. Like they they get that percentage and they can see how much they're making APY wise. But for ours, and there's a couple more on our network that have 100% fees, where they take all of the XRD that's generated from that validator, and then they figure it out from there, and they figure out how much goes to who and all that, right? So the way ours works is we have 50% fee. So 50% of the XRD that's generated goes directly to them like normal. And then the other 50% goes to us, and we use that to buy back Edge. And then we have Edge that we had reserved from the initial launch, and we use that as rewards for the validator stakers. So that's sort of how that works. And then eventually we're going to be able to wean down on all of that Edge that we're giving out, and figure that out, whether it's burning it or selling it for a discount, and then using half of the using the XRD and the Edge to buy back liquidity to support that. But we'll be able to use XRD from the money generated from the edgeclub.fun site to supplement that and make it even better.
I'm learning a lot about nodes today. Samir, did you know any of this?
I was gonna say this is such an educational space, and moreover, Mike, you have such a soothing voice. Not to sound like sweet or anything, but it's just like it's just so cool to like listen to you, like with the very like chill, relaxing, like explaining how shit works. I'm like chilling with my cat here, and it's just like we're just listening together.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Like I'm learning a lot too. So if I ask something that you have answered, please forgive me.
Yeah.
It might be because it just went over my head.
Yeah, no worries.
And I didn't understand that you answered it the first time. But yeah, I'm learning a lot, more so than I have in past spaces.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, you also have an NFT platform. Going on, the Good Dogs. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah.
Maybe I know more about NFTs, so
That's
maybe
fair.
this will be maybe we can have a better back and forth.
So I haven't released anything, and like I've shown pictures of what it's going to be, and the community seemed to really like it. But the reason I haven't launched the NFTs yet is because we want to do it on a site that, like, an actual proper NFT site and proper marketplace. And as far as I know, there's a couple coming out that will have these minting pages integrated right into the marketplace, which is just, I think, really big and really, really key to the future of NFTs and marketplaces. But that's what we're sort of waiting for. And as soon as that comes, I'll be able to actually push it out. In terms of plans for the NFT, first off, it's just art, it's something really fun. But initially it was, I started making it before I made the meme coin, and I was like, oh, I can do this. I can build a community. I can make some money, and I can do, that's how every NFT starts, And then I started all this, and I was like, well, I guess now if I launch it, if I do it, well, when I do it, so many of them are going to initial investors who were allotted it for holding for a certain amount of time. That's our whole vesting period that we had going on in the early days. But the rest will be minted, and then the XRD that we achieve or gain from that will be there just to support edge holders. So whether it be to go on the validator, to earn rewards, to go right back to edge holders, or to go directly into buying back edge, or being literally just airdropped to edge holders. Like there's a lot of different possibilities of what can happen. I mean, airdropping it back to edge holders kind of sounds stupid because, they're probably the ones who are buying the NFT. So, but these are just things that are in my mind. Like it's whatever happens with the NFT and the funds generated from it, it won't be a Ponzi scheme. It'll really just go back to the holders, and any investor who's buying and minting will know that on the day. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I'm familiar with NFTs as before, but I'm learning a lot, and I'm still trying to get into the space, and I'm still learning a lot. Like, Samir, do you have a lot of NFTs or? Any NFTs?
You know, I'm very like, I have a couple of NFTs. My worst purchase so far was the crab chicken from that Rick and Morty creator show. Bought it for like $400 USD, and now it's like
Fuck.
fucking 50 cents.
They
But
all
I
are.
still have high hopes. At least it has like an actual IP attached to it, you know? Like it's basically a chicken or whatever. I'm like the OG of that NFT. So I still feel like it's gonna moon at some point, but I'm just happy it's just attached to like Fox official Fox IP, and that's all I need to know for now, and I'm just gonna forget about it. But it's there, and I actually printed out, and my wife made me put it on the wall so that she basically makes me remember the wall of shame of my investments.
Oh
So I
man,
have
that'd be a big wall for me. Fuck.
so I have a chicken right now on my whiteboard.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
I guess
I kinda love
NFTs
that.
are
I kinda
better
love
for
that.
that, for your bad investments. You gotta
Yeah, at
pay
least
Yeah.
it's
off
a
all the
fucking art, right?
NFTs that.
At least you can look at it and kind of appreciate it if you bought it because you appreciated it. You know, like I have one from first off, because we got bottom dwellers here. You can see them, they got their style of NFT that they're doing. He made me a personal one, and because it hasn't been minted yet. But he made me a personal one, and I've had it for my Telegram profile for a long time now because I absolutely love it. So that's like one of my favorite ones. But my absolute favorite one is this one from, if you guys have ever heard of Bad Dogs Club. No,
Not me, not me.
No.
yeah. So it's Ethereum based. He would draw one of them per day, and I think he only drew about 420 or 469, something like that. But he would draw one per day, and then he'd raffle it off, or not raffle it off, auction it off, and it would like start at a certain price. And there was this one that like somebody was flooding the group, and so then he made one that was like to make fun of this guy, and I bought it, and I was just like, I love it. it's great. And I spent a lot on it. It's definitely not worth what I spent on it, not even close. But it's nice to have a story behind something that you own. You know, like it helps. It definitely helps.
I have to. Yeah, that is cool, and that is part of it.
Yeah, but you know what's
I
funny?
remember I bought an NFT. Sorry, go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, well, I'm just gonna finish the story. It's just crazy to me that I'm thinking back 2 years ago that I've spent $400 on the fucking NFT. Like right now, it'd be like, it doesn't. There's no. I don't have that vibe right now that I'm like ready to like drop $400
No,
on an
there was
NFT.
so
But
much
like,
FOMO at that time, man. Everybody
yeah,
was like, "Oh
so,
my god, what if this one goes to like 30 ETH?" And
yeah,
like a
it's
fucking
crazy.
owl went to 30 ETH. Like, I could do it.
Yeah, like it just tells you like how far away are we right now from the top because we're nowhere near to the
Yeah.
same kind of vibe. So
Yeah,
it's just
but
like,
it's coming
We'll get
back.
back to that probably.
Like, look at Doodles. Like, Doodles started to come back.
yeah,
They
for
really
sure.
started to jump up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, my buddy owns one. He minted fucking Doodles. He minted 5 of them, which was wild. And he still owns one. And part of my goal is as we start this collaboration marketing campaign, that eventually, once we've had enough go under the belt, and we start getting a little bit more eyes on what's happening, that we can sort of talk to the guys from Doodle, because I've been to one of their Toronto events when they had their movie come out at TIFF, and I went with my buddy, and like the guy who actually made Doodles was there, and like you had like people from Adidas because they got sponsorships with Adidas, and fucking Pharrell was there, and I'm like, okay, this is
By the way, are
actually
you
within my
signed up for our
grasp.
event?
Like, I haven't yet. I just got the email today.
Oh shit.
Is it going
Okay,
quick?
cool. Yeah,
I'm not. I haven't read through it yet.
it's January 27th, end of the
Okay.
month, Monday. Yeah, it's gonna be a good party.
We got like
Definitely tell your
200
friends.
signed up.
Ooh,
Yep, it's gonna be a
I
crowd.
like that. Where is it at, by the way?
It's in the back room though.
Uh,
Taco.
secret room at the restaurant in
The
Kensington
Taco
Market.
Bell.
Yeah, Taco, but
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
Taco
love
in
Bell
the
Taco Bell.
back room. In the back room.
in the back room. Yeah,
last-
we're gonna have we gotta have a person.
We're
standing
serving.
there. Exactly,
Because like
with
at the Solana event, this is the same place in the back room. I just randomly walked into I didn't realize there's a back room, so I walked into the front room, and I was like, I don't recognize anybody here, right? And I just like sort of like, okay, maybe it's just a new crowd. I started grabbing some of their food. Didn't get my drink ticket yet. I even was chatting with people. I told them I was in like crypto, Toronto DAO, all that stuff, and they were listening to me. Then somebody I did recognize walked in and he waved me over. He's like, "I think we're in the wrong place," and it turned out I was. It was just funny because I like
Do you know what the
one
event
guy
was?
also did that. It was some environmental thing. I just
It
thought
was
it was funny for
environmental
like.
climate event. I went there. I made exactly the same mistake. I feel like everyone who went to the event went to that event first.
That's fantastic.
Except I think I was the only one that ate their food.
Oh my god,
So that
Matthew, you're ridiculous. You came to the question event. You ate their food.
You know, the lengths that some people will
random-ass
go to
crypto,
shill
bro.
crypto is insane.
yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
yes, that's why
That's great.
that's what I'm putting a lot of emphasis on the back room. Because people will make that mistake.
God damn. Well,
Oh,
I
God,
think
so
I'll
I
be in
lost track
Toronto
of where
for
we
it.
are.
I might be back home for about a month, but
Perfect.
yeah,
Where are you right now?
I'm in Toronto. But yeah, just
Oh, okay.
some things kind of changed, and I might go home for about a month, but we'll see. But
Where's home?
home is Windsor. Do you know where that is?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm familiar with
Not
that.
too far.
I was expecting you to say like far away. I'm like,
No.
oh, that's nearby.
No, it's far for people from Toronto, but for me, it's 4 hours. It's not bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty much we had all the all the questions. Samir, is there anything you specifically wanted to ask?
No, I'm excited. I'm actually excited about downloading this conversation and cutting some clips out of it and posting it on our socials because this is a very cool
It's
one.
great, man.
And
Especially the part about me eating some strange parties food.
Yeah, but you crushed the
Top of the
party is
list.
going to be the number one. Yeah, but there's going to be some good content that I'm going to be cutting and just tagging Mike and the project as
Amazing.
well. So hopefully it's gonna spread the word and just spread awareness more.
And I guess you guys got an early into understanding what the collaboration thing will kind of be and the opportunity of finding collaborations and sending them our way. So don't miss out on that, because if you have obviously you guys are part of NFT communities, and if you're part of one that maybe it's dead but the community is still alive, that's all we need. We just need a community, right?
That's
and
true.
the asset that they all hold.
Dry powder, man. Dry powder.
Yeah. So it's a very easy thing for the right people to give.
Dry powder is the analogy for when you have, well, it's in finance, when you have money to spend, and so you set it aside. Like if you're like you want to invest in something, right? But you're just holding cash because you're not sure like when the market's gonna bottom out. So that's what you call dry powder. So when
you
Mike
say dry powder and investing, I'm thinking of a different thing, to be honest.
I was thinking of like baby powder
you're
or
thinking
like
about
cocaine.
A fun powder.
Yeah, let's go with baby powder. Let's just.
You guys are ridiculous. I'm here trying to educate you guys on how the 90s slang works. But anyways, those community members,
90s,
for me personally,
I see
90s is when they did the most coke, man. Literally.
What a time. Yeah, anyways, that community, the people are hanging out and they're trying to find a new place, right? A new home. That's where Edge needs to come in and with the platform and just adopt all.
As soon as we have that second part in, it'll be really cool to see how those collaborations form new communities on Radix. But yeah, it's gonna be fantastic, and we're ready to take it on.
Antoine, I see you asked to be a speaker. Did you have something you wanted to ask?
No, not in particular. Like I was just well, you guys were talking about NFTs, and I was just wanted to bring
Antoine, are you there?
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh,
some people have been messaging me.
So go ahead.
Some people have been messaging me to buy some rare pepes that I created in 2016. So it seems to be heating up a little bit. But anyways.
Yeah, and there you go, man. Like that community alone, if it qualifies for what we're looking for, you'll see all the links. You'll be able to send them our way, and then you could earn that revenue share. So,
I didn't hear him, to be honest. What did he ask?
He was talking about an NFT.
Okay.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely anybody who's on the space, and I mean, who knows how quickly it'll go. We're only going to do so many because we can't give away too much revenue. But it's a very good way for us to jumpstart things. So yeah.
We love revenue.
We love revenue.
Yes, revenue's good.
And I don't know if I explained this, but and I might have some of my numbers skewed here, but obviously, best case scenario is pump.fun type revenue. But it's like pump.fun, if you look at it and you look at the numbers, so you can see that in their lifetime, they've made about 400 million. So 400 million USD. In their last month, it was either 100 million or 150 million. That's the part that I'm not sure about. And I'm also not sure about this stat either, but it said that on January 2nd, they made 15 million. So they used to make 375,000 per day. Then they made 3 million per day. And apparently on January 2nd, they made $15 million in one day. And the alt craze hasn't started. So the potential for what Pump.Fun can make in one day is insane. And we've always just wanted to take a sliver of that, but we know we have the potential to take it all. But if we could even just, if we got what they had, what people need to realize is that 0.1% that we're offering for these collaboration finders, 0.1% of $15 million in one day is $15,000. In 1 month, $100 million is $100,000. In a lifetime of $400 million, that's $400,000 just for very minimal work of you having a connection and you helping us make the connection with that person. So you might have something that you think is useless because you bought an NFT in a community and the NFT is not worth that much anymore, but the community is still active and you might have a chance to connect us with that community and never have to work again in your life. So think about that.
I think I've seen, I can't remember the names, but I have seen like NFTs that, but the community was so behind it, they kind of took over the group and revived it, even though the original people just took the money and ran.
Yeah.
So like,
there's a ton of those too.
What you're saying, like
that's awesome to see.
Yeah. So
yeah. And it's super easy
because definitely check out the Edge Club.
Yeah, and it's super easy to get them in for sure with the pitch, and like I said, it's all in nice diagrams that I can't show yet, but it's very simple to. I've tried to make it as simple as possible for people who are trying to convince these communities that they're part of to join in this, and obviously the airdrops are what they're going to be incentivized by, but being able to create their own coin and have their community support it the way that they're going to be able to do with our feature, and then be able to actually invest through these bridges. Is going to be a whole new onboarding thing that'll have really nice indirect effects on XRD. So,
and this, like, you're going to be able to show everything on the 15th, or
so I'm pretty much going to be able to talk about everything and show everything. Obviously, there's stuff that we're going to continue to build. People already know that we're integrating the bridge, so that's not a secret. But it is something that's coming right after. And then there's just other ideas that we want to slowly start putting on. But the crucial stuff to make the website work is going to be there, and we'll be able to reveal it. You'll be able to see it, and we'll be able to talk about it and explain it very easily. And having that launch partner who's going to be launching their token, and they have quite a nice community. We'll very easily be able to show people on XRD and throughout different communities, if they're watching, how it works and how well I think it can work. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff. Like I said, like Samir said, your voice is like very soothing. You should do like radio or something, or I guess some of the podcast is, but like, yeah, definitely get your voice out there. I feel like you'd be really good for the weather, just like telling like what the.
So it's going to be very cold today. You will most likely die, but that's okay, because when you die, that's it. You will be okay. On to you, Matt, with the. I don't know. We got Beam in here right now. You guys don't know Beam, but he's a really big developer within the Radix community, and he's also started to do some social stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do one of his videos. I know he was looking for people.
There you go. Happy to connect people here on Toronto DAO. But yeah, I think that's it for me. Samir, you already said you're finished. Is it anything else you'd like to add before we sign off?
Well, I just wanted to once again give a shout out to our event. It's called, this series called Blockchain Horizons. We have a partner. It's Sui Community. Obviously, a little different than Radix, but everyone's welcome. It's for everyone. We're not discriminating against any other communities, and the newbies are welcome. The experienced devs are welcome as well. It's going to be in Kensington Market. Uh, we're gonna be posting a link soon to the event, so it's already out there, and the real ones already got the email, such as Mike.
Nice.
But yeah, we're gonna be publicly soon, and it's going to be on January 27th on Monday. And yeah, we're gonna have a stand-up comedian there as well. Like, he's gonna roast the shit out of us. So that's something new that I'm trying out. And then we're probably gonna have a real DJ and a bunch of cool stuff as well. It's gonna be free food, free drinks, shit like that. It's first come, first serve. We're probably gonna run out of everything very quickly, but yeah, we're gonna give out some.
Yeah. Do you guys have a DJ yet?
Yeah, we have someone, but feel free to send us references if you know anyone.
It gives me flashbacks. One time we had a.
But yeah, definitely check
out. Hold on,
event.
Matthew. We have Antoine saying something. I know you don't. You can.
We put off time. Okay, but one time we had a Toronto DAO event, and at the beginning, so we said that we would serve food at the end after the presentations, and we ended up serving food before because of some decision. And at the end, there was this like woman. At the end, she was like so mad. She's like, "Oh, on your meetup page, it said it would be served after the presentations," and then it's like, "What? Oh, so you came just for the food?"
Or like, how old are you?
It's fine
you
if you
can't
come for
find
the
your own food. Like, just
go
down the street and buy a fucking shawarma. Like, come on.
I'm just gonna write the description as first come, first serve, so it's like disclosed. You know, you snooze, you lose.
By the way, will there be anybody from Sui there?
Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna be some devs there as well.
Remind me of this. I can never remember, but is it Sui or SEI that or SIE that just took off? Which one is like taking off?
Sui just hit all-time high.
Sui's okay, so Sui's the one that's taking off. SEI is the one.
It's number 12 on CoinMarketCap.
Nice.
Actually, I don't know.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So thank you for joining us. And if anybody else wants to speak on Toronto DAO's weekly Twitter space, feel free to reach out to me or Samir. We'd be happy to have you. We do have a guest. Zealy Code. Yep. It's very basic. If you go on our Zealy page, it will be it's basic. Oh shoot, what is it? Let me just double check.
Can I get those points?
Yeah, especially for this coming up event, you want the points. That's all I'm gonna say. Edge 25, no caps.
Edge 25.
Edge 25.
There you go.
I like it.
Yeah, definitely start adding those points because all I'm gonna say is they're gonna be helpful for the event. And if you have a bunch of points and you don't come to the events, well, that's not great either. That's all I'm gonna say.
Follow us on Twitter, please, on X and everywhere.
Twitter, LinkedIn, X, and please comment on all the posts that we post, and as well as don't forget to follow Edge Club as well.
Beauty.
All right, take care, everyone.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Hey, Mike, you were great. Thank you so much.
Samir.
Hey, thank you.
You guys have a good one. Thanks, Matt.